This is just a short video. I've set up a little demonstration of an automatic gravity-fed watering system. This is the same system I used on the allotment in the polytunnel. It was a 20 foot by 10 foot tunnel. What that'd be 3 meters by 6 meters. So this is just a council green waste recycling bin. And I just modified that by drilling a 25mm hole in there, and I've pushed in a bit of 20mm MDPE black water pipe in there. So then these are quite good. These are electrical grommets. They make a nice watertight seal, and they're quite cheap. You can buy aquaponic grommets, which are around about £3-4 each. They're quite expensive, but for testing and for little demonstrations things, these are perfect. I don't know how long they'll last if they're exposed to sunlight, but if you can kind of protect that from ultraviolet, they'll last a good long time. I've had some in the outdoors, maybe 4 or 5 years, and they're still okay, look like new. So these are just the fingered sort of tight, just MDPE fittings. They'll take high pressure as well. They're a bit over the top, but they're quite good for working on things like this. I've just raised this up so it's got a little bit of head of pressure just to operate the solenoid valve. So just working down here, this is an inline filter. It stops the solenoid from blocking up. I haven't actually got a filter in that at the moment. I was just haven't used this for some time, so the solenoid valve wasn't responsive, so I've just run some water through it from the tap. And I'll just reinstall that cartridge in there just to sort of keep it from blocking up. There is a small little mesh, stainless steel mesh there, just to stop bigger debris from blocking the solenoid. On the control system here, it's quite straightforward. It's got the time. I haven't set any dates or times on this. That was set to start 4 o'clock in the morning for 239 minutes every third day, and the program is on, so that'll be running. You can switch the program on and off. You've just got this little keypad for jogging up and down, so you can see what's flashing at the moment. Yeah, so this is set to manual, program on and off. So I'll put the program off, and you just press the middle one, and then you can go down here. You can set, can't see where it's, yeah, see 162 minutes, 163, so you can jog up and down, and then OK. And at the moment it's got that little indicator there. It shows that the valve's open, so it's watering. So I'll just go through some elbows. Got some reducers here, so this is matching up to a 3/4 inch BSP pipe thread fitting there, where it's got a 1/2 inch pipe thread, and then I've got a reducer on it, and then that goes to the MDPE. So then this is a little float valve here, so you can see it's coming down. Comes down from your little cistern there, little reservoir. You really want that raised up as high as you can get it, so you've got more pressure. What I'm trying to do though is just have sort of irrigation that just tops up, so you're not using like a sort of a high pressure, like a hose pipe to water or anything. It's just a case of filling up reservoirs, and you can set the delay so it fills up every, I don't know, once a week or something like that. So it just means there's a little bit of irrigation water there at all times. So the little float valve, you can see it's open at the moment. If I push down on that, you can see the water coming through. It's quite low pressure, but if I just put that to the top, you can see it shuts off. And what I've got here, a little output from here, I've got the 21.5mm Pvc Overflow Pipe. I haven't solvent welded any of this, it's just for demonstration. They're just push fit, so they're dripping a little tiny bit, it's not a problem though. And then that goes down here. And then this is one of the capillary irrigation reservoirs from under one of my grow buckets. So what I normally have on there, there's a subfloor made out of Coke cans or drinks cans, and then that sort of goes up to here. So then there's a sort of a subfloor, and you can set the subfloor so the subfloor is at the level of the maximum height of the irrigation. And then I've just got a soil feeding station on there, so I add organic matter, and the worms really make the most of the material on there to sort of break down the stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just grab one of the little green roof containers just to demonstrate. So this is one of these sort of green roof containers, and this is just made from the bottom of a 25 gallon high density polyethylene container. So what you've got here, so you've got your reservoir here, and then that fills up to that. Well, you've got your float valve tank there, so that determines what the maximum height of the water level is, and then that goes round through these pipes, networks of pipes, to these irrigation containers, and then you've got your little grow container on top. And in this case I'm just using one of these green roof containers. But the nice thing about this is it sub-irrigation, so it waters from below, so you don't get the evaporation from the top. It's capillary action that takes the moisture there up into the plants, and with the sub-floor there, you've got a bit of aeration underneath there, and then you've got the moist conditions for the worms, and the worms take the moisture and the nutrients up into the containers as well. But it can be gravity fed, but as I said, you need a little bit of space or a little bit of height to actually give you the pressure just to open and close the valves. You can get solenoid valves that work at much lower pressures. Not quite sure what that one specifies, but it works quite well even with quite low pressure. And you can see it's just a little bit of trickle of water coming through because the valve's almost closing up. But that's the system, and as I said, you can kind of tee off these, have a series of containers, and then as long as they're on the same level, you can kind of feed all those containers from the same run, and it's just that float valve that determines the maximum height. And what I'd suggest is you set the timer so it's maybe once or twice a week it fills up, and then once it's full it just shuts off after maybe an hour or something like that, just to fill up all those containers. And you'd have to do some sort of just set it for maybe an hour and come back and observe what the flow rate's like, and sort of see what the level goes up to over that time. But as I said, these all tee off there, and you can solvent weld all the run, but what I'd suggest is you just have that one as a push fit and put a little bit of silicone or something around it so you can dismount those and maintain those. You can pull out that 21.5mm overflow from that grommet, but it's easier if you can just snap those on and off and push them on. Yeah, so it's got a good little system, and what I'll do is I'll do some photos of this just so you can see a little bit clearer. Thanks for watching.